Hello again, this is Alex with MasterChartsTrading.com, and this is market recap for Friday, March 25th, 2022. As always, please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and share this video with others. S&P 500 is building on its breakout as other indices moving higher. Small caps are still lagging, but I think they will eventually catch up. High yield bonds worry me a bit. Let's see if they hold this important support resistance level. Treasury bonds move to new lows, and we'll look at also at mortgage rates, which are pretty high now compared to just a few years, just like last year. We'll look at oil and natural gas, which I think will be moving higher still, and we'll look at trade example Coterra Energy, which is an oil and gas play. Gold is again gaining for the week, and we will now look at another recent trade we did for Yamana gold. Bitcoin is at resistance, and we'll see if the resistance will hold. If you are a subscriber, then I'll send out a separate newsletter covering all of these stocks. We're trading all of these various stocks. If you're not a subscriber, then consider signing up at MasterChartsTrading.com. I have 3 products. I have trading indicators, newsletters, and ultimate bundle, which combines the 2, trading indicators and newsletter. So the trading indicators, very briefly, are these lines, this green, blue, red, and yellow lines, and they are basically used for trading any security, and they're used as support resistance lines. If you need a newsletter, of course, the same thing. I send out the newsletter on a daily basis, and we trade, again, all of these various stocks. And you can sign up at MasterChartsTrading.com. So moving on to the actual stocks, this breakout right there happened on 18th of March last week. And this week we're building on this breakout. So right now I think stocks, S&P 500 at the very least, is in the bull market. Now again, usually when S&P 500 goes into a bull market, the rest of the indices follow. So I think that it would make sense for Dow Jones, for NASDAQ, and for small caps to continue moving higher. Anything is possible, but I think we should look to S&P 500 as a major index to set the tone for the market, so to speak. So despite all the negative press, despite all the negative news, and just pretty scary things that are happening in Europe, with outright possibility of a nuclear war now being talked about, the stock market seems to discount all of that, and the price wants to go higher as of right now. We are trading it indeed. This was an actual alert here on 18th of March, and we are long S&P 500. On the weekly chart, nothing really has changed, so we can look at same thing. So last week I said that we had this bullish reversal. I'm going to turn off this for a second. So bullish reversal, meaning that the entire last week's candle was engulfed by this. The week before, rather, was engulfed by the last week's candle, and this is a reversal, bullish outside reversal. And now this week we have followed through with this. Additionally, we have once again closed above this blue support resistance line, and this is good news. We're not that far off from the all-time record highs. This all-time record high is set here in early January, so it's entirely possible we'll just continue higher and make new records. Looking at Dow Jones, this is Dow Jones futures. So on weekly chart, we can see that we're still a little bit, not yet in a bullish phase. We're still in caution phase. Caution phase happens when we close below this red support resistance line, and then have not yet closed above the blue support resistance line. So we're looking basically at about 35,000 is the level for Dow Jones to overcome, and then I think we will most likely make new records. NASDAQ, So NASDAQ actually collapsed pretty hard, went as far as the bear market levels here at the yellow line. But again, the week before, or the last week, we had a big outside reversal candle, and this week we had a follow through. So overall, this is quite hopeful. So big test for NASDAQ is coming up soon. We're looking at 15271 is the level to watch. Just reading it right off the chart is the blue support resistance line right there. For Russell 2000 small caps, they're still underperforming. They've been underperforming quite badly. You can see they actually went into a bear market right there, 18th of January, week of the 18th of January, and so far they kind of just been trading sideways. However, they are approaching this red support resistance line, so we're looking at potential breakout next week. Really looks quite possible. This would be, obviously very good for the overall stock market, so let's hope for the best. All right, looking at junk debt. So we're looking at junk debt right now. So I worry about junk debt because normally junk debt and stocks, they correlate. In other words, they move together in lockstep. So yes, the junk debt moved higher this last week with a big outside reversal candlestick, with a big hammer candlestick. Actually, there's a big hammer candlestick right there. But this week really was sold off, and once again we're retesting this yellow support resistance line. You can kind of see it. It's 101.22, and the level we closed is at 101.33. So really just at it, and we touched it this week as well. You can see it on daily charts as well. So we're retesting the support resistance line as we speak. So it's kind of important that the junk debt holds this level and continues higher, because I think because of the correlations, not necessarily causation, I don't know which one causes the other, but it's nice to have all of the ingredients, so to speak, for the bull market. And if junk debt is also moving higher, then it's really good for the stock market as well. So let's hope that we're going to continue higher here. As far as Treasury bonds, so this is Treasury bonds TLT. So we moved lower, starting back here in early January. We actually shorted the Treasury bonds TLT, and then now we're at new lows. So yeah, that's just how it is. And then Federal Reserve keeps saying that we're going to raise interest rates, so it is obviously moving, weighing on various bonds, and TLT treasuries are bonds. So yes, they're definitely moving lower, and they most likely will continue moving lower. So we will just need to watch it and hope that eventually the bottom will be found. But when treasuries move lower, money needs to rotate somewhere. So in fact, since we're long stocks, it actually is kind of good for the stock market when treasury bonds are selling off. So when stocks move higher, treasury bonds normally move lower. So once again, this is a good news, unless of course you're trying to buy a house and trying to get a mortgage. So looking at mortgage rates, and this is 30-year fixed rate mortgage average United States. So currently, and this is a monthly chart, so we're at levels not seen since January of 2019. So this is a 2-year high for mortgage rates. Once again, definitely not great if you're trying to buy a house. However, by historical standards, mortgage rates are still okay. If we look back to the 90s or late 80s, the mortgage rates were 11% here. So we're still, by historical standards, quite low. Will they continue lower? It depends on treasury bonds. So all indications are that Treasury bonds will continue lower. In other words, mortgage rates will most likely continue rising. So, that's just how it is. Right, moving on to commodities. So we're looking at light crude oil, CL1 exclamation point. This is a futures. I do not use USO. So USO is United States oil, and it is subject to slippage. So I prefer to use the actual futures. And looking at futures, this is actual alert again here on 21st of March. So if you are able to trade futures, or additionally you can trade what's called contracts for difference. So for example, US oil would be a contract for difference, but it's not available in the United States. So if you're in Europe or elsewhere, you can trade US oil. Wonderful. Then you could have bought it right there on the 17th of March and probably already take some profits by now. But looking at oil, it seems like it wants to continue higher. So I think we're going to retest these highs from the early March here. As far as natural gas, also seems like it wants to continue higher. Again, this is a natural gas futures. We're long natural gas futures. If you want to trade this as a contracts for difference, this is NGAS. That's a possibility. You could have bought it right there, 21st of March or so. Now again, they're not available in the United States, so we're going to stick with futures. And UNG is also not a great substitute for trading futures because of the slippage. So I would not necessarily use them. However, some people like to use them, and that's again their own decision. I think it's risky in my opinion. So natural gas futures seem to want to go higher. I think most likely they're going to retest the recent highs, so most likely we're going to be over $6 here. Before I forget, let's look at dynamic yield curve. So dynamic yield curve is kind of flattening, and also in some places actually inverting as well. So you can see that 30-year yield is actually below now the 20-year yield. The same goes for 5 to 7 year yield is actually above the 10-year yield. So not a great way to look at not a great way to look the look of natural or the look of the yield curve is not great. If we go back a little bit, you can see that the yields were lower, and now the whole yield curve is rising and flattening, and in some places actually reversing, inverting rather. So overall, previous indications, so we had, for example, back here in 2007, inverted yield curve followed by a bear market. Same goes here back in 2000, also inverted yield curve followed by a bear market. Will this happen now? Nobody knows. It's a beginning of an inversion, so we'll need to watch it basically. So a recent trade we did, here's Coterra Energy, and Coterra Energy is same straightforward. So we buy on close above the blue line right there, 25th of January, for example, and we, once the target is reached, which was about 1st of February here, we move our stop to entry and we continue trailing. We trail at the blue support resistance line. Here you may or may not have been stopped out on the 15th of March, but if you didn't get stopped out, congratulations, because you're plus 44%. So that's how it looks on the daily chart. On the weekly chart, it looks even better. So let me show you what that looks like. And this is how it looks like on weekly. In fact, I kind of prefer to trade on weekly lately. So alert was sent right there on the week of 18th of January, and yeah, very nice move. Straightforward, so about over 40% move in your favor. So that's a oil and natural gas play, Coterra Energy. Congratulations to the subscribers. Moving on to gold. So gold, I think, is in an uptrend in the bull market, and it began, if you look at weekly chart right there on the week of 8th of November, Had an opportunity to get in again on 17th of January, week of 17th of January, and again just recently we were able to get in 21st of March, or rather week of 21st of March, and here you can see it was on the 17th of March. Alert was actually sent, and we're long gold. Let's see what happens. It looks poised to continue higher, so yeah, let's hope for the, or rather, this trade will most likely go higher. That's what I'm betting on right this instant. As far as gold miners, so gold miners again we also trade. Here's Yamana Gold, another example. Trade forward. So again, for sometimes we look for breakout trades. So this is a breakout trade. Stock was below this yellow support resistance line, then it closed above this blue line, and then we buy it. So again, you can find out more about at MasterChartsTrading.com. And this is how we basically trade. That's all we do. We look at the lines. We don't really worry about anything else. Once the support resistance line is, once the price closes above the support resistance line, blue support resistance line, we buy it right there, and we just trail it higher. So right now it's up, close to 20%. Yamana Gold. Again, congratulations to subscribers, but I think it might continue higher. Finally, Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, I think, is in a bear market, and it's right this instant as we speak is literally at resistance. So this support resistance line is currently at 43875, and let's see if it holds here and continues lower. So previously we sold it successfully here. You can see it several times, downward facing arrows. Let's see if this happens again this week. If it does, most likely it will continue lower towards new lows. That's it for this week's recap. Head over to MasterChartsTrading.com, click on products, and sign up for one of the products. So again, I have 3 products. One is trading indicators. So these are the indicators, the green, blue, red, and yellow line. And again, you can trade pretty much anything you like on most time frames. These indicators are available for TradingView.com. For TradingView.com, you only need a free TradingView account. And once you register on my site, MasterCharts Trading, I will open the door for you on TradingView, and you should be able to use my indicators. Newsletter. So again, if you just want to hear what I have to say, that for example, these are the stocks I'm going to be describing in the newsletter. This is a video weekly newsletter, and then also I send daily newsletter with actual alerts to my subscribers. And of course, Ultimate Bundle is the best deal. So if you get Ultimate Bundle, it's much better deal. You get it for under $60, but if you buy them separately, it's over $70. So consider signing up. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thanks for watching, and have another great trading week. Bye bye.